I do want
Thank
to
you.
talk a bit about Bros, which was such a passion project and, must hold a lot of space in your heart a couple years removed. Do
Oh
you hope,
yeah.
I hope you take away all the good of it because those that saw it loved it. And it's a very funny, sweet, a great film.
Thank you.
And but I know, like, I don't know, was there a period of almost like mourning, like, oh God, the box office, it just wasn't, we were so close and it didn't go where I wanted it to go, or is it all good? Give me a sense of your perspective on Bros right now.
I, above all, remain so proud of that movie
Yeah.
because I just love the movie,
Yeah.
and it's really hard to make a good movie. And it's hard to make a good comedy, especially. We made an R-rated comedy about middle-aged gay men who are sexually active. It was honest, it was unapologetic. I
Yeah.
wanted my character to say things in that movie, to be outspoken and confident, to not be a cartoon of a gay man, which we often see in pop culture, especially in, when a gay man does pop up in a more mainstream style comedy, they're often not written with that much complexity or dimension. We're just joke machines, and I've been a joke machine. And I wanted to. And by the way, it's fun to be a joke machine when the jokes are funny, and I'm happy to do that too. But it was such a great opportunity to go beyond that. And we did it through the major studio system. The same studio that made Wicked and that makes Fast and the Furious and that
Right.
makes Jurassic World. They made Bros.
Yeah.
I've stayed in touch with all the folks from Universal Studios who made it. They reach out to me. Someone from like the marketing department reached out to me a few months ago, even, and texted me, and we don't socialize or anything like that. And he said, I just caught Bros it's on cable, and he's a gay man, and he said it's such a good movie. He was like, you made such a good movie. He was like, I'm just proud that I was a part of it. That's pretty amazing, for a
Yeah.
studio that, obviously, like, we didn't get the big opening weekend that we wanted. But what remains is the movie,
Yeah.
and I'm so proud of it. It is one of the great creative accomplishments of my life, and I think it will always be. And I have been, you know, it is one of those movies. I think more people, you don't get the streaming numbers, but I would imagine just from anecdotal evidence, it's one of those movies people ended up watching at home
Right.
when it became available. And I could sit here, Josh, and I could read you, I won't, but I could read you, I don't know, hundreds of messages I got privately on Instagram or from mostly gay men, not only gay men, but mostly gay men and gay men of a certain age who really understood why that movie was so rare,
Right.
and really appreciated what my character and Luke's character, the issues that they were unpacking in that movie. And they have reached out to me, not publicly, not for clout or clicks or Instagram comments, not jumping on any sort of bandwagon, but just reaching out to me in a private message that only that person and I will see, to tell me in a very heartfelt, sometimes very specific way, how much that movie meant to them and how
Yeah.
many times they've watched it, and if I was able to give those men, and again, it's not just men, but that movie is very much about a middle-aged gay man unpacking, the things that he grew up with in order to find his, in order to be in love, to be vulnerable, to be insecure, and it's complicated. And the fact that it spoke to those men and they reached out to me and continue to, that it moves me so much every time. And I'm really proud of that. Not many gay men in my position in Hollywood have gotten the chance to make that sort of movie.
Yeah.
And it was a privilege. It was very challenging. Don't get me wrong. I'm
That's
not like
a
sugar.
lot of weight was on your shoulders. So I can
Yeah, it was
imagine
an enormous amount of weight on my shoulders, of course. But you know, what, like I said, what ultimately you are left with is the movie.
yeah.
And
Yeah.
for people who haven't seen it, it is streaming, and I recommend it. And I'm very proud of the work that I did, and that the work we all did.